They say that we use only 10% of our brain, and that 10% is the conscious mind, right? That's our focus, our attention, what we pay attention to, like our aim and how we direct the mind consciously. And they say that the other 90%, that's our subconscious. And so at night when you're hanging out, Netflix and chilling and kind of putting on some mindless TV, you're actually surrendering and paying over that attention when you're not directing it or kind of watching what you're consuming, because it makes a difference in our consciousness, like what we have control over with what we're consuming, like whether it's music, what we're watching, food, what have you. They all have a significant effect in our lives. There is a war on our consciousness, and with these technologies, with streaming, Netflix, our iPhones, smartphones, they're keeping it convenient and comfortable, automated, getting you into a trance-like state, like in an autopilot. And when it's automated, there's no choice. It's steered, engineered, programmed. And we like being comfortable. We like the comfort can be an addiction. They say comfort can be a drug at some point. All this is to keep you in a animalistic, primal state, driven by your desires, ruled by your desires, reactive, lustful, addicted, enslaved, imprisoned and consumed by your desires, and it's all unconscious. So it's all conditioning you without your best interest, with intention of you to serve as a consumer, trading your time and energy with just a deficit, literally getting nothing in exchange for it. Like, where did my day go? I didn't get enough sleep last night. That other 90%, your subconscious, that there are subliminal messaging in music, movies, frequencies, that other 90% is being hijacked, and that's the monopoly of your brain, 90%, and taken for a ride, and where you're told how to feel, what to believe, what to eat, what's good, what's bad, how to vote, what to like, what to eat, what's cool, what's attractive, who your God is, how many gods. What's your definition of God? Is it a man in the sky with a beard wearing white? Religion is a good container for souls to evolve, but it's also a form of control. Like I've said before, hundreds of years ago, Britain invaded India, and they found that they couldn't gain control over the people because the people had such a strong spiritual sovereignty and connection through their ancient yoga practice that they weren't able to be ruled. If I was asked to define God, I couldn't do it. It would be the same as asking me to define infinity, like tell you where infinity began and ended. It's not possible. It's infinity. It wouldn't be infinity. There wouldn't be words that could do it justice. I wouldn't even be able to begin to comprehend something like that. God has to be felt and experienced, and you have to come with your own connection and definition and what it means to you. It's all about energy shapes your reality. So like, let's say if we were sitting in a glassy pond and we had a stone in our hand, and with a simple toss, the stone lands in the water, it ripples and begins to radiate outward in perfect expanding circles, right, to the edges of the shore of the pond, touching the whole surface. So the stone actually represents your energy, your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, and the ripples symbolize that impact of your energy on your life and the world around you. Every single moment, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, you're tossing stones into the pond of your life, creating ripples that shape your experiences, your reality, your interactions. Everything in existence is energy. It's the foundation of all life, the essence of creation, the power behind every thought, the emotion, the action. It's the breath that moves through your body and the vibration that shapes the universe. Science even tells us that everything is energy. Every atom, every cell, every structure, everything in the universe is made up of vibrating energy. Everything is in a constant state of motion. Nothing is truly solid. You are energy. Your thoughts carry energy. Your emotions emit energy. Your words, actions, intentions all ripple outward, shaping your experiences and the reality around you. Energy is limitless. It's constantly flowing, expanding, transforming. It doesn't have a beginning and an end. It just shifts form. You think, create, heal, manifest. It's the frequency that you emit, the magnet that attracts the experiences in your life. They say like attracts like, so that has to do with your frequency. But the key is awareness. You have to take responsibility for what you allow into your mind, like I was saying earlier, what you consume. Foods. Music industry is very notorious for subliminal messaging. It's a frequency. You have to really take responsibility of what you give your attention to. What are you surrendering it over to? It might seem harmless or to just kind of, hey, I'm just going to tune out with the mindless TV, but it does have an impact on that 90% of your brain, because since we're a little child and infant, our subconscious is like a camera that's just been rolling and recording constantly and being embedded, and that's what shapes your beliefs in life, what you like, how you feel about things, and it's storing the experiences. You start shifting reaction to creation. You're not powerless. You're powerful. You're the force that shapes your life. So back to the surface of the still pond, it's completely still, that it has that reflection, and it's reflecting back what is already present. So you're processing that reality through that camera feed that's been rolling and recording your entire life, the subconscious, and forming the beliefs, the thoughts, the emotions, and past experiences. So it can't create what's beyond what's recorded in that aspect, but it can have an influence, especially without awareness. Your brain is designed to experience the world with a filter of your beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and experiences. So this is where trauma comes in, where you had a traumatic experience. That's going to be like a filter, because you have an evidence to back up that fear or something that triggers you, and that you're going to have that reaction. But when we can bring an awareness to that, that's how we break, because that's a limiting belief. We get the feelings of unworthiness, feeling stuck, and they reflect back, and we reinforce these patterns over and over. The brain is limited by beliefs, and it perceives the evidence from those experiences to reinforce that. So the beliefs create resistance, and that sends the ripples into your reality, forming ego,